Good evening, everybody. It is just about 6 p.m. We'll be in a second or two. It is the 26th of February, Monday. Time for our How clinic, if you like. An open educational session. Ask any questions. Ideally, if you've got questions on any of our, unshared private strategies, please keep until the end or message me privately, and when I've ended the recording we'll go through those then. Today, like last week, or not unlike last week, I have a bit of a mixed bag. A brief one: mindset of discipline. Well, discipline and mindset, really. I read an inspirational, motivational quote, post perhaps it was. Doesn't really matter, I read it. I'll read it out to you. It says, "You can have anything you want if you are willing to give up the belief that you can't have it." Now, I want you to ponder on that for a moment while I go through other little things, and I'll come back to that. I'm going to circle back to it, and I think you will like my circling. We'll see. Also, please, everyone, especially the men, don't forget that this month only, we are able to celebrate the 2 days of the year. It's usually 3, but since it's a leap year this year, we have the 30th and the 31st of February, when a man is indeed always right. Enjoy it, lads. It's the one time of the year we get to be right in regards to a disagreement with our wives. We'll see. Now, the path to achievement is not only the physical efforts, it includes your mental approach and any emotional barriers that you might have. By giving up those self-imposed constraints, we can open ourselves up to limitless possibilities. The change in mindset is a crucial step in the process. I very much believe that I am living proof of this concept, and that I've been able to implement the same approaches in my own experience, in my own journey, in my own life. Discipline applies to many aspects of trading, business, and in life. In business or in trading, you might hold on to an asset. For example, a trade may be that is plummeting in value because you invested a lot of time or pips in it early on. Indeed, I'm reminded of someone who told me many, many years ago, I won't mention the whole name of the company, but he said he's invested so much in TS, he doesn't want to give up now until it pays him back. I'd suggest that's a very long road, and I'm not sure that it's ever indeed paid him back. He has on many occasions asked about joining this group, and always I give him the same answer: no. And it's not because, I don't know, when someone says, I want to join, I want to join, I want to join, and then they don't, and they don't, and they don't, well, I'm not going to chase you, and then to come back to me a month, a year or something later. It's different when someone's in the group and they leave and they want to come back. That's very different. But when someone says, yeah, I'm going to join the next course you've got going, and then you send them the details and it doesn't suit me, that one, clear off then. Leave me alone, not interested. It's just the way it is. Anyway, the reality is it's often smarter to cut losses early. And it's often smarter to say, no, I'm not working with that guy. That's my views, especially so in trading, in life too. Maybe you're stuck in a career or something that doesn't make you happy. Any of those things, you stay because you've years invested perhaps. It's never too late to change. I'm reminded that, come the end of the year, I talk about New Year's resolutions and how they shouldn't apply to us, because we can change now, right now. We don't have to wait till the morning. We can start implementing discipline in the next moment. We can take our last bad trade, if you like, and remember, shitty trades don't make you any money, and then we can say, sod it, I am now going to implement discipline. And you might wonder, look, what that looks like. Well, read through any of our strategy notes. That's what it looks like. Follow those rules to the letter. Let me go folders. Let me find where that is. Let me go desktop, trading, template strategies, and I'm yet to write up the buy it, sell it, but there's a T2B2 down there, the revised edit. That's about the latest one. I don't know why it says authors Jonathan. I guess somebody must have sent me a document and I've used it as a template or something, but it was certainly authored by me, notwithstanding that. That was dated the 29th of January, and it is indeed our latest, if you like, strategy. We've also got a simple cross. We've got some really simple crosses, the red light, green light system that you know about. There are many, but the rules are clearly written. Indeed, the MD2X is written about in the Trading Code, isn't it? The first book that I issued to you guys. I'm working on 5, but 1, 2, 3, and 4 are out there. So it's never too late to change. Don't let anything cloud your judgment or misdirect you. In my own experience, growing up, I was always told I'll never amount to anything, I'll never be anybody, I'll never get anywhere. Indeed, some of the friends that I, let's say, knocked around with back then, the well-to-dos, this is what my mum and dad bought me for Christmas, and this is what I'm getting, and this is what I've got, and look at all my new clothes and stuff, and me in my sister's hand-me-downs being looked down upon then. It's not the same when I go back to Liverpool these days, and some of you know I was there quite recently, and I got to see someone who it was exactly that person. He lived 5 doors away from me, and they always had 2 cars, and they always had a phone, and they had the colour TV before everybody else, and it was just, it was that kid in the neighbourhood that has absolutely everything, and 2 of them sometimes, and he always looked down upon me. A taxi driver he is nowadays. Now, I'm not putting down taxi drivers. I need them. It's a very useful thing. But he's on a taxi driver's salary in a taxi driver's type house on taxi driver's holidays, and he works a lot of hours, and some of them are ugly hours, working through the night to drive people home when they're absolutely rotten drunk and at risk of vomiting in his taxi. I don't need to do that. I'm kind of pleased with that, and it was nice to run into him and to be able to see how our lives had unfolded. It is nice to bridge the gap between geography and lifestyle, but it's also nice to see that, for me, I didn't let anything hold me back. I didn't let any of those comments affect me. I didn't allow it to get into my head. I'm still going to new and exciting places. I still want to be a spaceman. I doubt I'll do that, but you never know. There is option. It depends when the war ends or if the war ends in Ukraine. There is a place you can go to in Russia, and you can go up into space in a MiG. And it was on my to-do list, and I've been often over that side of the world. I've the details saved, and I thought, yeah, I'm going to go and do that one day. And obviously now then the war kicked in, so I'm a bit, let's say, I'm on the back foot, but I'll make it happen. It is what it is. So yeah, I'll let it be what it is. But whatever happens, it will be what I choose on the day. It won't be, well, that's all your parents had, so that's all you can achieve. It won't be, well, that's all your family is. They're all, my family are all working class. Family who were in the army, the navy, but a lot of us went that way. But some of them stayed in very, very long term. And then came out and drove cranes and did very, that kind of job. I think I'm the only person I know who went into business for myself and wanted to go into business for myself. And some people will say trading is not business. Well, trading is exactly business. That's why I give you a blank business plan so that you can fill it in to suit your goals, your needs, your wants, your dreams. It is exactly a business. That is it. That's all it is. It is your own business. The difference is you don't have to invest, I don't know, well, a taxi driver has to invest money buying the cab, or maybe he finances it. And I remember having a disagreement with a gentleman who invited me to come along to a course he was presenting on Start Your Own Business. It was run by Enterprise Ireland and backed up by the skill nets of which I was a member back then. And he invited me and he said to me, we gave the advice, take finance. There was a lady who was going to start a pet grooming service, and she's going to do it mobile, and she's going to buy a van. And he said, well, finance it, go to bank, get them to give you the money. He said, and put in your budget, you've only got to make next month's payment and then the month after, and you'll be fine, you know. And I coughed and I said, can I give you a different idea? And she looked and I said, I'm sorry to cut across you, it being his course and all, but if you finance it, it's not yours. The bank own that. And yeah, okay, you might buy a fantastic brand new vehicle and it looks brilliant, it's spiffing, and the minute you drive it off the forecourt, it's worth half of what you paid because of the taxes, etc. So it's never worth what you owe the bank. Never, from the minute you sign for it until maybe 5 years down the line. But if in between day one and day 360 of 5 years you run into trouble, you're not going to get your money back on that van. Whereas if you buy a second-hander, maybe it's a mobile home and it's already got, those little camper vans it's got water in it, and that's all you need. Put a bigger sink in it, a bath, and cocky it up yourself. Maybe do something like that. But if you break an arm tomorrow, touch wood, God forbid you don't, but you'll then have that asset that you own, and it can either sit on the driveway because nobody's coming after you saying, oh, you got to make the payments, or gives it back, or you can sell it and cover your other expenses and buy another one when you've recovered. That's the difference. So I've always been counter business loans, any loans, if you like. I've never appreciated or approved of them. Indeed, when I bought that company way back when I made my first money trade in oil back in 2004. I bought the company in 2005 and I didn't finance a damn thing. Actually, that's not true. I did take a small mortgage on the build, but I bought the land and everything else in there was absolutely lock, stock and smoking barrels mine. It just made sense to take the mortgage because the banks, it was a 3.5 million investment, a 1.6 million mortgage, so go figure. It was money for jam, really. It made a lot of sense at the time to me. Again, the bank sort of bought that loan. In other words, we'll give you this preferential if you take the loan. And I remember saying to them sometime, 3 years later, said, I'm thinking of buying, there's a sugar factory in Carlow, it's gone and the sugar business is gone. I'm thinking of buying that and turning it into a biofuels plant. But it probably cost in the region of 27 million to get it set up. I would need to finance that. What are your thoughts? And the bank manager at the time said, oh, I wouldn't be against, with your track record, that'll be fine so far, so there you go. There's the power of doing it without finance. You build up a credit rating that you don't need. Absolutely, I always recommended starting trading with about 2,500. I started with 5,000, but then the soldiers I taught started with €50 each. €50, and they turned it into 7,700 and something in 2 weeks. So it really is a business. It's not a get rich quick scheme by any means, but there's nothing stopping you other than you from getting rich with your trading. Indeed, I'm reading some fantastic results at the moment from some of the US members. There's a Matt in that. I don't know if you're on, Matt. And Brian, those guys, they're doing really, really well. It's absolutely goosebump yielding to read their results. Because bear in mind, those are people I've taught, those are people I've guided, and that's it. That's why I teach and guide people, and it makes me day. I don't teach anybody anymore, and I'm happy to not have to. It is nice. But it is your own business. I'll read out Damon's comment there. Never let anyone stop chasing what you want in life. Yeah, that's it. Don't let anyone get in your way. The amount of times I was told, you can't do that, you can't do this, and what a nutter I was giving up a regular life in terms of work and stuff. And every day when I wake at the hour that suits me, when I do the things that suit me, when I buy the things I want, when I travel to the places I want. And at the moment, yeah, we are planning Easter travel, and it was there, then it was there, then it was there. Now we finally settled on a destination, and the route and the where we're stopping and what we're doing and things like that. And there's additions being planned and added on, and no stage in the journey or in the planning process is there, what's our budget? Well, can we afford that? Can we, what about this? What, is there any way we can shave or save? Well, we know where we want to go now. We've agreed on the place. We've agreed how we're going to get there. And that's it. That's the end of discussion. We've figured it out now. Go sort it. That the problem obviously is when there's three of us looking at the screen, we all want something different. So we've all voted and nominated one person to do pretty much everything along the lines of, we're going there, we're going on then, we're going to stay there then to then, and there then till then, and there on the way back, and there you go. And that's the plan. And the only thing is, once they've picked all that, they'll give it to me to pay. I don't mind that, but I'm happy enough with that. How is it possible? It's possible because I'm a trader. And the other thing that's really nice is the live sessions that we do. Well, I'll still be able to do them while we're traveling because I have a laptop and I've only picked places with Wi-Fi. And it's not that, what's the word? Well, you all know nobody pays subscriptions, do they? It's not like I'm going to lose anything by not doing those sessions. I could message you all and say, sorry lads, I'm on holiday for 2 or 3 weeks, and that's that. The thing is, I won't get my goosebumps then. I won't be in touch with you, with the markets, with so I still want to do them. It's a want, and I like that. I do like that. Yeah, I think it adds a layer of integrity. It adds a layer of discipline because, not letting you down. I'm still there holding you all accountable. So, yeah, you can have anything you want if you're willing to give up the belief that you can't have it. The other things I've said before is that motivation is the key to consistency. Excuse me. Well, if motivation is the key, discipline is the path. You use the key to open the door, and you follow the path of discipline. Motivation might be the thing that gets you to open the heavy iron gate, because it might be very heavy for very many people who have their ingrained beliefs, the whole chop chop, busy busy, work work, bang bang thing. And yeah, I had that myself when I was younger, but I've always had that sort of lazy element in me that said there's got to be an easier way. There really has. And again, I'm reminded, my mum, my foster mum, yeah, but it was her that said to me when I was torn between different things when I was much younger, and she said, chase the money, lad. And then when I was getting into trading, it was her, she was the biggest voice talking me out of it, and I reminded her, you told me to chase the money. Well, with this, I've caught it. And her face, her expressions changed then, and obviously I visited her while we were over there, and it was nice to be able to to go to see, to spend as much time as we pleased, and to let her see how we're doing, and that is nice. But if I had stayed in a job, well, I wouldn't have had the time. I wouldn't have been able to get the holidays, because the holidays would have had to be spent on a family type holiday, because, well, you can't let your little girl down. You must take her somewhere lovely, mustn't you? How can you fit in all these family visits and stuff? Yeah, well, it's because we don't have one of those job things. I'm trying to use the word job in the same way. Remember Mr. Bean, and in the it wasn't a movie, was it, in the series, when he was talking about Bob, and it was a sort of, the way he said it was really funny, and he did it on Top Gear. I was watching a clip from it the other day. I thought it was really good, so I'm going to do my best to practice saying job as if it's something that should make you laugh, because it really is something that should make you laugh. If you're a trader, job is for someone else. That's it. It's for the guy that washes your car or mows your lawn, or whatever it is you've got people doing for you, it's for them. It's not for you. Trading is for you, and trading will stop you having to have one of those god awful job things. I hope that makes sense, and I hope you understand how important discipline is along the way. Any questions? Any at all? Feel free to unmute and ask. I'm going to cough, hang on. Excuse me. There you go. I did cover my mush, so hopefully it's, what's the word? Clean. What I might do is put on here now, we have shared publicly some of the strategies. I'll remind everybody that you can find them on babypips.com. You can find them on forexstrategiesrevealed.com. I'll make it less complicated by hiding some of the EMAs there. There you go, we'll leave it at that. And we'd say a close above the green line, a close below the red line. With red above green gives you access to a sell. With green above red gives you access to a buy. I went along to a training course myself on Sunday, and I was actually very, the gentleman presenting the course, he was very good at what he did, basically. That's the reality. He wasn't at all condescending, and I like that. Anyone who starts talking down to me, I'm not interested now. You've lost me interest, you've lost me buy-in, and whatever it is the next word out of your mouth, I don't want to know it. If it's winning lotto numbers, I don't care. I don't want to know you. You'd have to talk to me like I'm human. But this gentleman did, and I'm happy to tell you, it was all about firearms and firearm safety and stuff like that. And you might, why did you bother going to that? You've already got them. Yes, but I've already got a car. It doesn't mean I've stopped learning. It doesn't mean I've stopped trying to improve how I drive. So I went along. And one of the things he said was he's in touch with the local constabulary here, if you like, and they would sometimes ask him for advice on rules, regulations. This guy's applied for this license for this firearm. Why would he want that? Should we give it to him? And his answer is very often, no, you shouldn't. And I don't know why he would want that. There's absolutely no business buying that type of gun here. There's no need for it. The other thing he said that was very, very interesting, he said he used the line to the guard: if somebody came into you and he said, oh, I've just bought this car, would you worry that he hadn't driven a car before? Or would you want to see his driving license? When you stop someone on the roadside, isn't it one of the first things you ask? Where is the proof that you've qualified to drive? And yeah, I'm happy to admit I've, firearms that I've never, I never took a course to learn to fire. I don't know how to fire. And a lot of people will say, oh, you know how to fire a gun. Yeah, but there's a big safety aspect to it. And there's also a procedural aspect along the lines of presenting it to somebody. Maybe you get stopped roadside by the police and they say, "What, have you got anything dangerous in the car?" Well, you can't say no if you have firearms in the car. You have to say, I do. I have licensed firearms and they're there, and this is where they are, and this is how well locked up they are. Okay, he might want to inspect them. Now you have to take them out and go through the procedure of showing him it's clear, and you can't be fumbling with, hang on a minute, I don't know how to find it and where the lockback in the, you've got to really demonstrate that you understand what you're doing, or he's going to look at you like you've got two heads. It would be the same if you got stopped roadside and he's there talking to you to that, and the car starts rolling down the hill, and he'd say, well, put your brake on. Oh, I don't know where the brake is. Where's the... It's exactly the same. Exactly. And when you come to sit looking at charts and people say to you, that pink line there, is that a this? Is that a that? And they start crying, and they've been in the group for like 16 years or something, and they question what something is on screen. And you think, you've not done any of your homework. You've not put any effort into this whatsoever. Is that discipline? Is that motivation? Is that the path to consistency? Or are you being a dick? And they're the honest words to use. So, again, I've mentioned discipline here. The whole topic for this evening was discipline. I'm your mentor here, lads. Once you've joined the group, I'm your mentor, but I won't be a whole namby-pamby. Like there was an approach given by a company that used to be called Knowledge to Action, and then Learn to Trade, and so they probably changed the name again now. They keep getting such a terrible reputation. But whatever they're called at this point in time, their level of mentorship was, oh, didn't you learn that? Okay, I'll tell you what, for another £2,000, for another £5,000, for another this, we'll show you this next thing. You know what I mean? And they'll keep selling you something else that's meant to make you better. When really what you've got to do, you're absolutely right, there you go, Janelle Wright, we're not here to coddle grown adults. What you've really got to do is, I mean, gently take somebody by the ear and explain, like, look, that's what you did, but that's what the chart said you should did. Did you do what the chart said you should do? No. Well, the difference is discipline. Always the difference is discipline. And very often I hear the words, yeah, but I thought, well, wait, because I didn't teach you to think. We didn't discuss having to think at all. Because when you drive from one place to another, very, very often you arrive at the destination not really recalling how you got there. And seldom will you remember when you switched from one gear to another. You won't remember, did you indicate at that junction? You won't remember how many cars passed you, how many you passed. You won't really be thinking that much on the journey. Generally, that is. Some do. I know I do, but that's because I don't want to get a speeding ticket. And I sometimes... I can't think of a nice way to say this. I might sometimes be a little bit over and a little bit concerned about the risk. So I would be thinking about that, and observing. But that's what we do when we're at the charts. We observe. We observe more than we think. And especially if you're using one of the less steps in process strategies, such as the buy it, sell it strategy, where there is no process, no divergence, rejection of a line, thought process, nothing. Just buy it, sell it according to the indicators and tally up at the end of the day. And yeah, you can't gate in a number of pips. Then you have to gate over a period of time, because the period of time will more than put you through several of the 30 or 40 pip gates, whatever you've looked at. That's the reality. So, any questions? We are 26 minutes into a recording. I'm conscious I don't like making them too long because people won't watch them from start to finish at the best of times. But I hope they're always worth watching. There was a nice fib in that. You see that? I'm going to put the fib on just so people can see that we do use them, and they are nice. Run of colour, red, down to the first retracement, wicks included, green. Pull back to the 38.2 and excuse me, a price action breakout, tally-ho chaps, a nice continuation. So the facility exists to lock in. Your entry would have been up here below the red line, above the 21. So this bar would have been your entry. We'll call it a 17.995, and there you go with a 17.965. So there's a 30 pipper in there, putting the fib on. That's the reality. No questions? No? Anyone want to say anything so that the YouTubers know I wasn't speaking to myself for the last 20 minutes? Go on, Damon. Say hello.
How you doing, mate? All right.
Appreciate that, Damon. I knew I could rely on you. Thanks for that.
Yeah, all good, mate. All good.
Thanks. And Brent's going to say something too.
No, thank you. I enjoyed that very much. I actually needed that.
Brilliant. There you go. Thank you very, very much, Brent.
Me too, mate. Me too, mate. I needed that.
Nice one. Appreciate
that. A
little
bit of a wobble on Friday, but we're back on track tomorrow.
Excellent. Okay, that's what I want to hear on track. It's okay to have a speed wobble. It's not okay to fall off the wagon anymore. We're all entitled to a speed wobble. I have a speed wobble. I stop the car sometimes and I try to get out and the seatbelt's still fastened. That's my version of a speed wobble at my age. But, you can have those. You just can't do it while the car's still moving, kind of thing,
Yeah, that's true, mate. That's true.
Nice one. Well, thanks, gentlemen. That's very much appreciated. We're back on 9 o'clock in the morning for live sessions. So I'll end the recording here. Please trade safe, everybody. And I look forward to seeing you in the morning on the live session. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.